Welcome back to the show. You made Diamond K in here. Of course, the program daily, the Diamond K Show, and every day we take a deeper look at the news stories of today. The man who recorded Ahmaud Arbery's shooting has been charged with felony murder. Agents of the Georgia Bureau of Investigations arrested the man who filmed the deadly shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. His name is William Bryan Jr., 50 years old, was booked on charges of felony murder and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Of course, this case has just hit the nation, but this tragedy occurred back in February 23rd of this year, a shooting that resulted in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. William Bryan Jr. booked at the Glenn County Jail, and you might have seen him making his rounds. He was on Good Morning America and other appearances. William Bryan Jr. His attorney says that the lie detector test proves that he did not participate in the alleged crime. Oh, if it was just that simple. Under the charge of felony murder, an accomplice may be found guilty of murder. William Bryan Jr. talked about receiving death threats. No surprise there. As I said, this case being investigated, by the district attorney, Joyette Holmes of the Cobb County District Attorney's Office. Should he have been charged? Should he not have been charged? Some people say, what are you charging him for? He's just filming. But how did he know where to be? How did he know this was going to take place? They're out on the road. There's a lot. But, GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigations, making this arrest. This is going to be a very, very polarizing case. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. The mayor of Baltimore, Jack Young, is discouraging President Trump from visiting the city of Baltimore on Memorial Day. Of course, Trump famously talked trash about the city of Baltimore. The White House announced last night that President Trump was going to be visiting Fort McHenry on Memorial Day. Check out those ramparts, huh? The Bernard Jack Young, as I said, who was in the middle of trying to get elected for the first time. Of course, he took over for Catherine Pugh. He was not actually elected. He weaseled his way into the mayorship. But Jack Young saying that the trip would set a bad example. What example do you think Trump wants to send if it's not going to be a bad example? He don't want to send no example but a bad example. This is what Jack Young had to say. President is deciding to pursue non-essential travel. And that sends the wrong message to our residents, who Trump has already said this place is rat infested, right? Anyway, many of whom have been disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 virus. He said, and he continued, I wish that the president, as our nation's leader, would set a positive example and not travel during this holiday weekend. He ain't gonna listen to you, Jack Young. These words that Jack Young is saying ring hollow, actually, because he's doing it. He's doing it for the clout. Okay, Understand this, the president is not going to listen to Jack Young. But Jack Young wants to point to this during his campaign and act like, look, I tried to be responsible. I tried to tell the president not to travel. Young says that the visit would also burden city personnel and equipment. Understand this. Trump doesn't care about that. Burden the city of Baltimore. I mean, he's going around places without a mask. They ask him to wear a mask. He's not gonna listen to Jack Young. But anyway, Jack Young continues, I would hope that the president would change his mind and decide to remain home. If he decides, however, to move forward with his scheduled trip to Baltimore, we will, of course, be prepared for his visit. I mean, what was the whole purpose of saying this in the whole first place? Shut up. White House says that the president and the first lady will participate in a Memorial Day ceremony at the site on Monday to honor American heroes who have sacrificed their lives. Just to show you how disjointed things are in Maryland, Governor Larry Hogan said that state officials, that is, are honored to have the president and the first lady spend time at Fort McHenry. The governor will not be in attendance, of course. He will be celebrating his birthday at home, so he's probably going to send the lieutenant governor. Trump sought to ramp up his travel schedule, looking to demonstrate that the nation is reopening after the devastation that the COVID-19 pandemic has placed upon the world. So the virus, of course, affecting more than 1.5 million Americans and has thus far cost more than 92,000 U.S. lives. Should the president travel right now? Of course he's going to. I don't even know why we're even discussing this. Mayor Jack Young. The president's definitely going to travel, and he's going to be in the city of Baltimore at Fort McHenry, regardless of what some people may think about it. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Don McKay Show, at Radio on Fire. Welcome back to The Don McKay Show. Thank you for joining me. Governor Larry Hogan of Maryland and CVS Health have announced 17 new drive-through coronavirus test sites in the state of Maryland. It was announced today that starting on May the 22nd, test sites at CVS pharmacies will use the self-swab coronavirus test. Now, to qualify for the self-swab test, patients must meet the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's test and age guidelines. Patients must register and schedule an appointment at cvs.com to receive their test, the officials said. So, what exactly is the process? It's going to require patients to stay in their cars and drive through the pharmacy window. Okay. Once they get to the window, they will be provided a test kit, given instructions, etc. Okay. Pharmacy staff members will watch the patient from the window to assure that it is done correctly. The governor said that the test will then be sent to an independent third-party lab where the results will be ready in 3 days. There will be no tests taken inside CVS. Of course, they want to protect the CVS locations, the retail locations. So you will not be going inside to do this. This is drive-through testing only. So there are 2 locations in Anne Arundel County. You got the Annapolis Road, Ritchie Highway, Baltimore City, Philadelphia Road, and on West Franklin Street. Carroll County has a Sykesville Road location. Charles County has the Altamont Place location. Frederick County, 2 locations, Liberty Road in Frederick, and Rotary Avenue in Newmarket. Also, Howard County has the West Side Boulevard location, which is in Fulton. Montgomery County has Wisconsin Avenue, Rockville Pike, and Darnestown Road in Gaithersburg. PG County has an Annapolis Road location, Southeast Crane Highway location, Marlboro Pike, and Brown Station Road in Upper Marlboro. Now, the final location in Worcester County on Coastal Highway, which is in Ocean City. So, large-scale test sites we've been operating since early April, the CVS Health president and CEO said, and this new approach allows us to utilize our presence in communities across the country and bring testing closer to home. Again, there are 17 new drive-through locations at CVS, and this starts tomorrow in the state of Maryland. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. If you have visited one of these locations, I'd like to hear from you. You can hit me at djdiamondk@gmail.com. I'd like to know about the experience that people are having at these CVS testing facilities, 17 locations in Maryland. And of course, speaking of Maryland, talking about Baltimore County to be specific, restrictions are going to begin to ease in Baltimore County. The county executive said today, he announced the signing of an executive order that's going to ease more restrictions in his jurisdiction as of 9 a.m. on Friday. Now, retail establishments, barbershops, salons, and religious services are allowed to reopen with certain restraints. He said this: with significant progress in expanding testing and PPE, which is personal protective equipment, I'm confident that Baltimore County is ready to take these next steps and do so in a safe manner that protects the health of our residents. He continued, while these steps are important, we're not out the woods yet, and I urge all residents to continue practicing social distancing to limit the spread of this virus. So, just let it be known that retail businesses, barbershops, and salons must restrict the number of people allowed in their establishments to 10. Okay, including the staff. Barbershops and salons can only operate by appointment only. All establishments must reopen and adhere to social distancing and disinfecting guidelines. They must do this. All customers and staff must still continue to wear masks or face coverings. Nail salons, tattoo shops, and massage businesses must remain closed. All right. Now, as it relates to religious services, indoor and outdoor services are allowed to resume, but must be limited to 10 people with social distancing measures in place. So what are you going to do there? I mean, that's not a lot of people at all. Now, there is one exception to the 10-person limit, and that is religious services can be held as drive-through or drive-in events where they stay in their cars. Churchgoers of the outdoor services remaining in their cars, that can be more than 10 people. And in these cases, with social distancing and face coverings worn, more than 10 people can attend. And this new order is right in line with what Governor Hogan laid out in phase 1 of his roadmap to recovery. So slowly you see that Baltimore County opening back up, and I'm sure that soon Baltimore City will follow. Not as of yet. Not as of yet. Is it too soon for this? I think that this is a very cautious, step forward. And you kind of want to you want to release things a bit and see where things are, see how people react, and see, most importantly, how the numbers react. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Don McKay Show, at Radio on Fire.
Do you have a business, product, or event that you need to promote to men and women ages 23 to 44? If so, Radio on Fire can help you do it with one of our promo packages. Our broadcasts reach over 150,000 people per month. Sponsorship for one or all of our radio programs can include live mentions, social media posting, commercials, and more. Visit radioonfire.com/advertise to find out more about a promo package that fits your needs. Rates start as low as $50. If you want to reach men and women ages 23 to 44, log on now, radioonfire.com.
So, the NBA is considering a 70-game season. It's part of this July restart. There's talk that the NBA would like to start in the middle of July, resuming and leading to playoffs in the summer. So this July restart of the season would include 70 games. Contenders for the playoffs would get one last chance to fight for positions, and so would lottery teams. Additionally, there would be some, TV and contracts that's tied into these 70 games. It's a lot of money that is obviously involved, and this pandemic, it makes it difficult for this July restart. I don't know how this is going to. Maybe they can launch straight into the playoffs. There's a lot of things on the table, and a lot of things that have to be worked out. There's much speculation about one city hosting all of the upcoming games. Of course, some fans are going to complain about that. Or fans, I mean, you can see it anywhere, but Orlando and Las Vegas are among those possibilities. Others have been proposed. But how would you like all of your games taking place in Orlando or Vegas? Players who have left their home cities or even left the country, some people have left the country, would likely be given ample time to return, quarantine, and just get adjusted to this very different experience. This is the first time the magic number of 70 has been thrown around. Some teams must televise at least 70 games per season to meet the full criteria of their broadcasting contracts. And that's what we're talking about. Broadcast dollars, money that is absolutely necessary for teams to salvage any type of local revenue during this pandemic. So very anxious. I'd like to see the NBA get things back into order. Location plays a big part of this. NBA teams could be forced to wait until August, which would stretch the league very thin for regular season games. Orlando, Disney World, or Las Vegas MGM Grand are the biggest puzzle pieces here, with Disney just favored to win as the host. Players will also have training camp 2.0 to get back into shape, considering that most have been unable to leave their homes for 2 months. So besides a few workouts and here and there, they are going to need some time to get things back up. So what are your thoughts on the NBA considering to restart? Is it time to restart? Do you want to see them restart? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Don McKay Show, at Radio on Fire. ESPN has had tremendous success with The Last Dance, which was that docuseries about Michael Jordan and the last season with the Bulls. So in lieu of that, Tom Brady has a documentary coming soon. The success of ESPN's The Last Dance has really pushed this forward. Now, former Patriots and current Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady is getting the docuseries treatment. And people have been hungry for sports content with no sports happening, no new sports. We've been watching old games and documentaries. Last Dance, of course, being centered around Michael Jordan and his legendary career. It was spread out over 10 episodes. And Brady's story will be told in 9 episodes, all to line up with his 9 Super Bowl appearances. It is going to be called Man in the Arena, and it's going to air in 2021. They have a trailer out now. This looks to be very interesting. Tom Brady, Man in the Arena. Are you going to check this out? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Dominic K Show, at Radio on Fire. So, definitely have to talk about Verzuz. Shout out to all of the good folks over at Verzuz. They have announced a double header for Memorial Day weekend. Verzuz announcing the first matchup, Bounty Killer versus Beanie Man. That's going to take place on Saturday. And reggae artists Beanie Man and Bounty Killer are the latest who are going to square up on Instagram Live. Swizz Beatz announced the competition over his IG page, and he shared the following caption: Memorial Day Verzuz Weekend Special, Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer Sound Clash Edition from Jamaica. Verzuz TV, what are you wearing? So their artistry is definitely on two opposite ends of the spectrum. This Verzuz battle will give both of them a moment to shine, and it will also allow them to be given their roses while they're here, for their influence on reggae music. This live event may also put to end their beef, which has been going on for years. And as I said, this is going to take place on Saturday, May the 23rd, 8 p.m. Memorial Day weekend. Are you going to be tuned in to Bounty Killer versus Beanie Man? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, or Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Dominic K Show, at Radio on Fire. Lastly, another announcement coming from Verzuz, and that is going to be 112 versus Jagged Edge on Memorial Day, 8 p.m. Verzuz announced this showdown between R&B supergroups 112 and Jagged Edge, and this event is going to take place, of course, on Instagram Live, May the 25th. Something for the ladies. And of course, this announcement coming on the heels of the Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer Sound Clash, which is going to take place on Saturday. And a few days ago, the 112 Jagged Edge Verzuz was teased while fans witnessed Swizz Beatz and Timbaland chopping it up on Instagram Live. Swizz Beatz called Jermaine Dupri to help get it all set up, and it appears that he has. Jermaine Dupri, keep that same energy, Swizz Beatz said during an IG Live. Jagged Edge versus 112. Can you make that happen, JD? Because a lot of people say what they want to see, but can you pick up the phone and make that happen? And he did. Both groups stay busy touring and recording. 112 is promoting their latest single, which is called Tonight, and Jagged Edge has a new project in the works called A Jagged Love Story. Are you going to be tuned in to 112 versus Jagged Edge? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, or Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Dominic K Show, at Radio on Fire. I will be back tomorrow with more news, entertainment, trending stories, and all of that stuff. However you're hearing this show, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And I will see you guys tomorrow.